What's going on YouTube? Ichi here, and we're back with another drawing video. And I know it's been a while. I think we got new faces here, but if we do, just want to say thanks for subscribing, checking out the channel. I appreciate it a lot. And now, without further ado, let's get into the video. For this sketch, I'm basically just working on my characters. And I wanted to draw a character from my story, which I haven't drew in a while, and you'll see them after I draw my main character here. But yeah, I mean, I'm getting back into drawing, which is good, because when you draw, you gotta draw consistently, otherwise you you kind of lose your edge, like the more you draw, the more you got this rhythm. And when you don't draw, you kind of lose the rhythm, But in my last sketch that I did, because I haven't drew for a while on that one, but I was saying before in the video that I still retain like my memory of how to draw. I just wasn't used to doing it for so long, but all the skill that I obtained was still there. I just had to tap into it, and I mentioned that in the last video. But yeah. See, like I got her like abs here, the obliques, where her stomach kind of folds in because she's like leaning forward. And yeah, I had to play around with my ink because I mentioned that before in another video that the ink would stay in the reservoir and it wouldn't flow through the ink pen. So I was just messing around with it, and I ended up like putting some water in it. Not a lot because I didn't want to dilute the ink, but enough to get it to like flow and not cling to the reservoir. So it kind of worked out, but I think I just need to buy new ink to kind of fix this. Yeah, it's drying out right now. I probably just gotta buy new ink. But yeah. Just filling out the outline here. I need to play around with different shading techniques, because I kind of got into a rut, not a rut, but I got too familiar with my particular style, and I want to try something a little bit different, just to spice up a bit and kind of challenge myself. So I'll probably try this in the toning stage of this drawing, or I'm not sure, but I definitely want to try something a little bit different. Here we go. This is the character that I've been wanting to draw. She's part of my story, and she's associated with the main character, not directly but indirectly. And I just want to draw something a little different. As you see, like, she has this like kind of two-necked guitar, and it goes with her character and what she does and the purpose of the story. Like I said, I don't want to mention anything about the story because it's like something I have in the works, and I'd rather the comic just speak for itself than me just talk about it. And like I said, like, some people like to plagiarize, so I don't like throwing out I don't like laying out all my cards on the table because of that. Because that shit is annoying. Like having something like you work hard for and just whoop, somebody just scoops it out and take it and claim it. That's like, ugh. That's infuriating. But this is a fun character. I like her personality. Like, she's like kind of, I don't want to say docile, but a little bit timid. But when she starts playing that guitar, she gets way more lively, and it's very amusing. I try to give that like kind of not sickly, but thinking of the right word, kind of smug. There we go, smug kind of expression. But yeah, I was looking at my most viewed videos, and like they usually the how to draw videos that I did like a couple years back when I was just doing like anything for the channel. And like, I don't know, I just said I kind of just want to draw what I want to draw. I know tutorials are nice and people are looking for them, but I don't know. I mean, if you guys have anything you want to see, like, you let me know. And if it's something interesting, or if it's something that's like really challenging, I'll try to give it a whirl and do a tutorial for it. But like, I've been kind of chilling on tutorials because, like, you know, there's not really much to like offer besides for like, you know, diversity and like black culture, you know, because like it's I think I did it all for the most part. I'm ready to draw another comic, but as I mentioned before in previous videos, like, it takes time to do one. Speaking of comics, I read a article recently about American comic authors, and just in general about the comic industry, how it's not really supported too well, especially with, you know, pirating going on and that being like a mainstay here. And it's like, yeah, that sucks, because, you know, and like most people don't even support the actual author by like buying their work. Like, they'll settle for just, you know, pirating the chapter, reading through a binge reading the story just to, you know, see what happens, especially after like an anime comes out and it ends like, what, 12 episodes, 24 episodes, and people go, oh, I want to see the manga, see what happens, and then they binge read it, and like they just leave it at that. They don't like buy an actual volume to support the author, you know, like that shit sucks. And I was thinking about that too. I'm like, yeah, like that sucks. Because me personally, like, if I enjoy the story, I like to like buy a volume or two of the work that an author did, you know. You know, when I was younger, I used to waste a lot of money on that, on like buying volumes of comics that I liked. I mean, I ain't gonna say I'm innocent, because I kind of fall into that habit of binge reading, but I do go back and I do buy a volume or two just to be like, hey, you know, I want to support the author, you know, because I did like their work. Like, I did it for Junji Ito's Uzumaki. I read that, and I was like, I'll buy a volume. I bought the complete edition. I think it was a complete edition off Amazon. Me personally, in my opinion, I think Uzumaki is a little overrated, but that's my opinion. I mean, I could talk about that in another video, but cause that's a whole discussion right there. I mean, it was okay. I didn't hate it. It was okay, but I think people just overrated it a little bit. But yeah, and also in the article they were saying that most Americans don't like supporting other American manga authors, if you know what I mean. Like, it has to be authentic Japanese for them to want to support it and buy the actual work. You know, like, for instance, you know, the old how to draw manga books, how like they're kind of like amateurish in a way, but they're trying to teach you how to draw manga. You know what I mean? Like, that art style is like really like super big eyes and like the unproportioned heads, like, but it's an official book though. It's an American book of how to draw manga, but it's that distinct style that screams Americanized, right? Basically, Americans won't support that type of work because it's not authentic Japanese, because Americans, they want the official Japanese experience. You know, that's why they're reading like manga instead of like comics, you know, like Marvel and DC and shit, you know. So it's like, yeah, like, Americans typically won't support other American manga authors if their work isn't like close to being like Japanese or professional enough to be like passed off as a Japanese comic, you know. And I was thinking about that a lot, and I was like, yeah, that's true. Because like your work has to mirror the professional look of a Japanese comic before Americans want to support you. If you're working on like trying to imitate like a manga style, you know. I was like, yeah, that's true. But yeah, I thought it was interesting. Like I binge read Beastars recently, and I was thinking about that because I read that article. Like, yeah, I need to buy a volume or two off of Amazon for the author. I think the name is like Paru something, Itagaki Paru or something. Oh yeah, I need to support them. Oh, there was another article as well about the author. This author who does like boys love comics, which is yaoi for those you don't know, and yaoi is like boy on boy love stories, if you know, if you guys don't know. But um she basically, because she's Japanese, the author, she basically found out about her work being pirated and translated unofficially into English. So she, you know, she drew a picture and then she wrote a kind of like a message on it saying that, oh, if you're supporting this, like it does, if you're supporting this unofficial translation and reading my work on unofficial sites, you know, you're not supporting me, like you're not like giving me money, you know, it's like all this doesn't help me. And she was saying how, like, you know, financially speaking, like she's in a tight spot, you know. And it's like, damn, like that shit sucks, because like she's like, to be a comic author, like you gotta give your all to do it, you know. And like the comic industry, unless like, because Japan, like comics is is mixed into their culture, so people of all ages read comics in Japan. And but if you look at like the American audience, like it's not really like that much of a thing. Like adults usually look at it, but they have to be in that like kind of a like nerdish kind of category, or like little kids read comics. But it's like it's not like a big thing that everyone does, you know. Like outside people see it as like childish, you know, which isn't the case, obviously. But yeah, she was saying that like she's not being supported, and like she's in a rough spot financially. It's like, yeah, because people are pirating her work and not officially supporting her. And it's like, damn, I feel you on that. Cause like you gotta give your all to like draw these comics, like especially for as much detail you put into them. Like it's very time consuming. And I was saying before that like being a comic author is, it's not very lucrative, you know, especially in America. Like it's not lucrative. Like if to be a comic artist, like, you have to just have the passion to want to draw. And it's like, yeah, that's the only thing that's gonna push you. Like if you're in the comics for the money, like don't even bother, because it's not like you're just gonna be like, you're not gonna get what you're trying to look for. Like it's got to be a passion for you. That's gonna be the only pleasure you get from it. Oh, this looks sick. Like, yeah, she plays the guitars and like the skull head opens up. It's an electric guitar. Yeah. So like, to those of you out there who like comics and manga, like support your fellow authors and buy their works. You know, you don't gotta buy the whole damn series, but just buy a volume or two, you know, from official channels, you know, Amazon and wherever. Like support your fellow author, because they put that hard work into writing the story and doing the art. Like, you know, like I ain't saying like don't pirate, but do both. There's nothing wrong with doing both. Support the actual author, you know, for real. Like support your author, especially if it's a store you like, support them. Like, you don't gotta buy their whole series, but just buy a volume or two. Let them know, or put some money in their pocket, you know. I might post those articles in the links down below so you can read those, because it's very powerful. It's like, yeah, man, it's like not getting credit for your work, or not getting like paid for your hard work, especially if this is your career. Like, yeah, that sucks. It's not cool at all. But yeah, it's enough rambling. And this has just been like a kind of an informational kind of a video, just talking about the industry. But yeah, if there's anything else you guys want to see, like, let me know in the comments down below. Or if there's anything else you want to discuss, like, we can have discussions about anything. I'm open to anything, and it's just fun, like, talking with you guys, see what you guys got to say about certain topics. And yeah, like, one nerd to another, you know. It's just interesting. Alrighty, this has been Ichi, and I'll see you guys around for the next one. Peace.